we talk about conducting virtual background checks on candidates, we have encountered that there are a great deal of implementing this kind of search engines. Those are include verification checks, verification of work experience, and verification of skill tests. Checking information can reduce fraud and identity theft. It ensures that employer know the employment history of prospective employee. Some employees use false identity to a job that they are not qualified for. Utilizing background checks in the hiring process can protect the company from bad publicity, safeguard the company assets, and make sure current employees feel safe and secure in their current work environment.
Next is background check is easier. Social media is one of the cheapest and easiest ways to do a background check. The recruiter has complete access and can make an immediate decision. In the long term, it saves a lot of time to know about the candidate via Facebook. A recruiter does not need to spend extra money on this. The cost that recruiters and companies shell out on the background checks is enormous, so the company can cut down on the financial front. Next is the social media background checks helps you notice red flags. Is your star candidate not behaving the way you thought? Does a candidate who seemed friendly in the interview have begun to crack jokes on Twitter? If that is the case, social media background checks help to differentiate the star and the unsatisfactory candidate. Other background checks do not tell you the flaws, but social media will offer the red flags loud and clear. Someone who had bad mouths or shares a negative opinion, so you can pass it over when you are hiring. Lastly, it can uncover illegal, antisocial, or violent behavior. Nobody wants to work with someone who might harm their coworkers. However, just because a person has a clean criminal record does not imply that they have never violated any rules. As a social media screening tool can reveal images of your prospects in appropriate setting and the online posts in which they are violent or abusive. All kinds of actions that they could easily conceal in an interview.
And communicative participants, assessing verbal communication skill is an important part of effective recruitment. Participants who have difficulty expressing themselves and giving their opinions to the researcher can result from a poor recruitment process. Late shows. Latecomers place a lot of pressure on the researcher and should be avoided at all costs. Always request an earlier arrival time from guests to allow for these minor issues. It can also lead to what would be the first impression of the interviewer to the interviewee. No show. The worst scenario is that the user doesn't show up on the day of the study while your stakeholders and manager are present in the observation room. This might occur if candidates are not carefully chosen and their dependability is not evaluated during the hiring process. Hiding a criminal background. Hiding your criminal background is almost the same as faking background or credentials. Your management checks your personal background and there is 99% for them to catch your criminal information since police clearance is one of the requirements when applying. Faking credentials. This could break the trust of the management and it can destroy your own image.
Next is education exaggeration and fabricating degrees. One of the most common fabrication is claiming a degree that has never earned. This kind of deception has been discovered by a number of executives working for a large corporation. Omitting past employment. If an applicant was fired without case or did not want their previous employer contacted for any reason, they may choose not to include in their application. Next is job candidate misinterpretation. Dishonest job candidates have discovered a useful loophole in job search process. They can fabricate academic records, work experiences, and skill expertise just easy online as they can on a paper. Though this is a general recruitment issue, it is important to be aware that an online job candidate profile is not longer legitimate. The other one is you hire people who do not fit the job. While online tools can help the speed of hiring process, there is always the risk of alienating the best candidates with an impersonal process that lacks a human touch. It is critical to consider that when designing your recruitment process and to counteract it by retaining a human element. And lastly, risking the hiring opportunity. There might be several people who uses technology in terms of finding their ideal job, but the management who hire employees online didn't notice that there are a lot of people who has better skills and are fitted for a specified title who are not online active users. They loses the opportunity to get the better workers.
If our next position, I believe for catering of what is discovered, so we can deliberate carefully, knowing that the candidate has been overly liberated with social media posting. We are all aware that there are several criteria that must be met when applying for a management position. The situation concerns the candidate's character, preferences, and background. If a person fails to meet a specific expectation for an Asian company, that person will be denied the title. Because they are always looking for the best fit person in for the job, the place, a high value on the professionalism and respect of each member of their management.
That's all for today. Thank you for listening, and I am Glenda Lazarte, always at your service.